Hi, welcome back to yet another video, another podcast, if you will. If you're watching on YouTube, awesome. If you're listening on Spotify or any other streaming services where you can hear podcast, shout out to you. You may notice something different about this if you're watching on video. I have both hands. Both hands are available. There's no microphone in my hand. There's no crutch for me to hide behind because I've unplugged. No more microphone like this. Very exciting things. I decided this week to invest in wireless microphones. Yay! Which wireless microphone, you ask? I got the DJI Mic 2, which comes with two different microphones, and it can connect to my phone, my computer, my camera. It can connect to pretty much anything wirelessly, Bluetooth, all the things. I'm very excited. Right now, I've got it on me right here. There it is, John Deere Country Boy. It's probably really loud right now while I'm talking, so I'll talk a little bit quieter. I have so many ideas in my little brain here that corded microphones hold me back from accomplishing. So now the world is literally my oyster. This was the last piece of equipment that was on my wish list. Now I'm unstoppable. I have all the gear, and now I have none of the excuses to not get after it with videos and different things. So if you see me in different locations and doing different things, now you know why. So far, I would highly recommend the DJI Mic 2 if you're looking for something that is wireless. I've had no problems. I watched the YouTube videos where they speak positively and they speak negatively and compared it to the Rode mic. The Rode mic, at least according to everyone else, is the better microphone. But for the purposes in which I'm going to be using this, this is perfect for me. So that's why I chose this one. I'm not saying this is the best one, but this is the best one for me. So with that out of the way, let's get into the nitty gritty. Let's give you some updates. This year I said I was potentially going to become a birder and I was going to go birding. So this week I waited patiently for my second book on birding specific to San Diego to come in. And boy, it did. Birds of San Diego. This thing is actually really cool. California gull. I've definitely seen one of those, but I didn't know that I was hunting for that bird. So now that I'm hunting for that bird, when I see the gull, checklist. It's going on the checklist. The book is from 97 and the author has where the birds are at, what time of year they're around, when they're mating, what they sound like, the different ways of identifying them. It is very interesting. I am a very visual learner, so having photos of all the birds is very helpful, but I also went onto YouTube and found a very cool YouTube channel that chats about birds and bird watching. What I didn't realize is when putting birding into the YouTube search bar, all these people writing bird scooters was going to come up, and I thought that was kind of funny. I would like to change the algorithm. Let's put birding back on the map. There actually are quite a few accounts of people who bird and not the scooter, looking for birds. And it's really fun watching them because they're so excited about this and so passionate about it. And so I want to be respectful in my birding and I want to take it seriously. So I'm trying to watch and see how you're supposed to do it the correct way. And the way to do that is to have the right equipment. So I hunt not only for birds, but I hunt for equipment. And this week I found at a thrift store for $10 my first set of binoculars. They are Bushnell binoculars. They're on the screen right now for those of you who are listening. And look at how cool I look. Oh, a bird sees me, they're like, yo, I'm gonna show you all my feathers. I'm gonna show you how cool my song is. This is about to be me. So now I have nothing holding me back for birding either. I've got all the correct equipment. So we've got mics, we've got the books, we've got the binoculars. Now all that's left is for me to go out and do it. I look forward to sharing my first birding experience with you oh so soon. Continuing down the line of updates, we got the new fish tank from the friend. It did come with two fish. The new fish tank we've been preparing, and then we finally put some fish in there, and then we finally put some fish in there this week. We have yo-yo loaches, platies, neon tetras, gouramis, and a swordtail in there right now. Everyone seems to be getting along. No one is biting at anyone. Now it's just a matter of getting that nitrogen cycle going, fully making sure everything is correct. So I've been checking their water literally every day and making small adjustments to make sure everything's perfect for them. I actually bought a bubbler today to make sure they're getting enough oxygen. So I threw a bubbler in there. Once everything is fully set up and everyone's happy and healthy, and I know that we're not going to lose any fish, we'll definitely give a tank tour. I know you're on the edge of your seat for this bird watching and fish keeping. Tank tour coming soon. Additionally, the old tank, the OG tank is what we're going to call it. We put the fish that we inherited into the OG tank. And unfortunately, something with their body chemistry, I don't fully understand how all of it works, but they messed up the pH levels in the tank. And so we actually lost 2 of our fish from the OG tank this week due to they both passed away in different ways. So I'm checking the water levels. Everything seems to be fine. The only variable that I can think of is having those other 2 fish that were in a previous aquarium in there. I don't fully know if that would have been the cause, but rest in peace to our 2 fish who passed away this week. You'll forever be in my heart. And I had stockings that I made for all my fish this year because I love them so much. And I'll shed a tear next Christmas when pulling out the Christmas stockings from the fish who passed. Now that they had passed and we got some of the water stuff set up, everything seems to be running smooth and clean and great. So OG tank is under control. New tank is, I'm on watch, making sure. So far, no fish have been lost in the new tank, which makes me very happy. I will definitely be doing those fish tank tours so soon. I just want to make sure that all the fish are happy and healthy before invading their space by putting a camera up to the glass or throwing a GoPro in there, because they don't need any more stress than they already have in their life. So fish tanks are going well. Birding is about to be going well. As for this week, my friend George, you guys know George. He's been in a few videos. He's a great guy. He's a stand-up guy. He and I met when we worked at a coffee shop together, became the best of buds, have been since then. Ride or die. Georgie invited me and Macy to go to a pinback show this week. So that's kind of exciting. I know this much about pinback. The only song I know is Good to See You. So it's going to be an adventure. George made a playlist for us to listen to so that we can, do a little bit of homework and be able to sing along with a few songs. So far, I'm vibing. I'm about it. The last time George did this to me, he took me to Tame Impala. So it's a pretty high bar that's set for pinback, but my hopes are so high. So high. Maybe Pinback is my next favorite band. I don't know. If there's any Pinback songs that you guys know that I should listen to before going to the show so that I can sing along and, be a little bit of a poser, hit me with them in the comment section. I literally only know Good to See You. Help me out, please. I don't want to be that person that's just like swaying and tapping my foot and kind of smiling because I don't know any of the words. I want to vibe. I want to have a good time. So shout out to George for inviting us to the show. He knows all about Pinback, loves them. Very excited. Was going to go to the show by himself, but was like, hey, I got a couple extra tickets if you guys want to go. I was like, let's do it. We'll be going to the Pinback show. I'll let you know. I'll let you know how it goes. It could be the best thing. It could be the worst thing. I don't think it could be the worst thing, actually, because, it's not about where you are, but it's about the people that you're with. And my wife and George are pretty solid people, so should be a great time. Another very random thing this week that I did was I watched Strays. I think it's on Peacock. It's a movie about talking dogs that's supposed to be for adults. And I'm watching it and I'm like, okay, that's funny there. That's funny there. Cool, cool. And as I keep watching it, I'm like, why am I doing this? Why am I hurting myself? Why do I have no respect for myself? An hour goes by, the movie's still really bad. No end in sight of it becoming good. And I just sat there, kept watching and watching, thinking, why am I watching this? All I have to do is click the back button on my remote and it's over. But no, I sat through an hour and a half of Strays. The movie is not for me. The movie's apparently not for a lot of people. I like to go into movies blind and not look at reviews. And I was like, Strays, it's probably bad, but it could be so bad that it's good. But it's just bad. There's no redeeming qualities for me. For me, you may love Strays, totally cool. I get it. There were some parts that I thought were funny, but a lot of it was just over the top and excessive, in my opinion. Would I ever watch it again? No. How would I rate it? 2 out of 10. I was slightly entertained for a few moments. I thought a few jokes were funny, made me chuckle, but that's about where it ends. So if you're planning on streaming a movie, don't waste your time. Don't waste your time with Strays. Normally I don't talk about the movies that I watch, but this one was so like one of the worst things I've seen in a long time, and I just don't want you to waste your time. I don't want you to go through what I had to go through. Okay? Don't do it. Please don't do it. Since I'm on the topic of shows and movies and things, I found a show. I realize I am 7 years too late, but I found a show that is fantastic. Mindhunter on Netflix. This show is not for the faint of heart. There are some really hard parts to get through that just make my tummy upset. And normally I'm able to separate because, I'm just like, oh, this isn't real. This is a TV show or this is whatever. But this show is so captivating that I'm just like tunnel vision, locked in, and I'm feeling what's being said or the actions that are being done. And I'm like, ooh. But it makes me feel good because those things are bad. And so if I didn't feel anything, I'd probably be more concerned about myself. But the premise, if you do not know, is the show, I believe, is set back in the 70s. And it's the FBI. They're starting to look into the psychology of people who end people's lives repeatedly, that become serial end people's lives. They didn't even have the term when the show started, and they coined the term and they kind of make a playbook for FBI agents to be able to profile and catch these life ending people before it's too late or before they end a bunch of lives. If you've ever seen Criminal Minds, they profile, they're like, oh, it's a white male in his 40s who has mommy issues and loves to suck his thumb. They profile a guy based on their pattern of behavior. So this show would be, in theory, it is not, but it would be in theory like a prequel to that. The people that are designing the playbook that the folks in Criminal Minds at the behavioral analysis unit end up using to catch criminals. The thing that I love about this TV show, though, is it's not just this, by the numbers show where it's like crime happens, investigate crime, have the red herring, then find the actual criminal, and then they get caught. And then next episode, repeat that formula. This show has stories that arc over 3 episodes, that go over the whole season, some that start and conclude in the same episode. It really feels like whomever wrote this put so much thought, care, and attention into it, and it comes across. I'm all the way in. We're watching episode 3, and it's wrapping up what started in episode 1 and beginning this new thing, but wrapping up something that started at the beginning of the episode. It's not as complex as I'm making it sound. It's just, it has a really good flow to the storytelling. And season 1 ends, and it's not the season finale that you would expect. Like some stuff pops off for sure. But we pick up in season 2, and it's just a continuation of the story. So it's almost like a style of like a movie, but it's a series. It's fantastic. I would recommend, like I said, not for the faint of heart. There's some weird stuff that goes on in there. Some hard to watch stuff and hard to hear things, but it's really good. If you like good storytelling, I would recommend it. So, told you one I didn't like, told you one I did like that I watched this week. Going back to music, it is that time of the week. It is hoping that my Discover Weekly is not the absolute worst. So, from this week, let's jump into it. There's a few songs. Apparently, my Discover Weekly thinks that I have never heard Day and Night by Kid Cudi, nor have I heard Rivers and Roads. Come on, we've all heard this. Before I fully jump into this, Neon Pill came out, Cage the Elephant. Highly recommend. I made an entire video reacting to it. If you haven't watched it, you should. If you have, thank you. Go stream Neon Pill. It's good. It's the most Cage the Elephant song ever. would recommend. But jumping into my Discover Weekly, there are a lot of artists that I know have been around. These songs are old for sure, but I have one here by Clairo. Now, for me, I know Clairo's popular. A lot of people really like Clairo, and that has been the deterrent for me because I am such a hipster sometimes. And I'm like, yo, everybody likes this. I don't like it. I'll wait for 5 years and then I'll think it's cool, which is literally what happened. But the song by Clairo that I would recommend that was just a good time is called Forever. Great time. Would recommend. Absolutely. Another song on the Discover Weekly. These are in no particular order. Another song that popped onto my Discover Weekly was Fade Into You by Mazzy Star. I think the song came out in 93. It's an old song. So there's potential that you haven't heard it, but if you know my background, I haven't heard most things, and so I'm learning as I go. But it was just it was a good vibes. It was just like sitting back, relaxing, enjoying, just kind of getting lost in the instrumental of it. Good song. Another song that popped into my Discover Weekly that I thought was worthy of our time is Not Strong Enough by boygenius. If you haven't listened to boygenius, you should. It's a super group. I'll let you discover for yourself, but boygenius is a great time. Absolutely a great time. I am very new to boygenius, but boygenius is worth your time. Highly recommend. The other song that I heard that I did enjoy from my Discover Weekly was Tangerine by Richardson. Just a vibey song. Just a good time. You just want to put it on in the background while you're cleaning. You just want to lay down on the couch, kind of unwind, have that guy playing. Helps you unwind. It's a good time. Absolute vibe. Would recommend. And we did get 5. We did get 5 this week. The 5th and final song from my Discover Weekly this week is Time Moves Slow by Bad Not Good. I had never heard of them before. I don't know if any of their other songs are any good, but this song would go well on just about any playlist. Would recommend. I will put a list in the description for you if you want to check out any of these songs. A honorable mention that I got, a submission from my wife. She said, you better listen to the song because I really like it, is Homesick by Kahan. Now, Noah Kahan is coming up at the same time as my boy Zach Bryan, and I don't want to make them compete. They've made some songs together, and the songs they made together are fantastic. I just love Zach so much. I don't have room in my heart for Noah quite yet, but Noah Kahan does have some good music. Homesick, I would recommend. It's a good time. Has a good build. It's energetic. It starts out and then takes you. Would recommend also. So there's a submission from my wife. If you only listen to one of the songs I recommend, listen to the one my wife did because, she knows best. Well, would you look at the time? We've been chatting for a little while now, and I think it's quitting time. If you did make it to the end of the video, I appreciate you. Thank you. All the gold stars are yours, and I will see you next week. Chat soon.